When we get to take a day off from all of our ministry responsibilities, we just love to explore the beauty and history that surrounds us here in Chile. So recently, we made a day trip to visit the Puchoco Schwager Coal Mine Museum near the port of Coronel. From our home in San Pedro de la Paz, the Coronel Intermodal Terminal is about a 40-minute ride on the Bio Tren, our local commuter line. At peak hours, the main road south can be snarled with traffic, and the buses and trains operate at capacity. From the intermodal terminal, the village of Puchoco is about a 3-kilometer walk. It takes about 30 minutes. We could have gotten a ride by colectivo or shared taxi, but we chose to walk so we could explore a little. We made a short side trip and explored the Caleta Lo Rojas and watched the local dogs harassing the sea lions. Along the road from Coronel to Puchoco, there are many fish processing plants, port facilities, and a thermoelectric plant, all located on what was once land associated with the coal mine and the mining town. Part of the local flavor are the murals of Boca Mina. The mining museum is located on the site of the Puchoco Schwager mine complex, or Chiflón Puchoco. Mining for coal first began in the Coronel area in 1849, and in 1859 the Puchoco Mining Company was formed. Eventually, the owners added a foundry operation and shipping fleet. The mine thrived for about 100 years and employed as many as 3,500 men. A decline in coal mining in the Coronel area began in the late 1950s, and the mine was nationalized in 1970 before being sold back into private ownership in 1988. Historically, Puchoco operated as a company town with all housing, buildings, and public spaces of what was then a gated community being owned by the mining company into the 1980s. Several sources that we looked at say that the museum is open daily. There is access to the mine ventilation shaft, the mine shaft itself, and the coal conveyor shaft and several other old mining complex structures. The day we visited turned out to be one day prior to a regional coal heritage event in cooperation with the other locations in Maule and Lota. Oh, wow. We were the only visitors, and the staff had lots to do to prepare for the next day, but we were basically treated to a private tour.
Los mineros tienen un bastón.
Ah, sí.
Un bastón.
Sí, yo vi en el museo.
The mine itself actually stretches out under the town of Puchoco and on beneath the Pacific Ocean for 2 kilometers or more. After the mine was sold back into private ownership, operations continued until 1994, when an explosion claimed the lives of 21 miners. The owners decided to immediately close the mine, and it has been abandoned ever since. Here you can see a memorial to the 21 miners who lost their lives, as well as examples of the walking sticks or canes or bastons that the miners used as they entered the mines. The way it was explained to us is that the men would ride standing on the cable that ran the cars down the mine, and they would use the stick to keep themselves balanced as they stood on the cable.
El museo ya va a cumplir 7 años. Sí, sí, por eso, sí. Estaba abandonado esto. Estaba abandonado esto y hace 7 años que se retomó esto y se ha declarado como museo ahora. Ahora este lugar es un lugar patrimonial. Este es un... Venían aquí a golpe.
¿Y dónde lo robaron allá?
¿Cómo?
¿Se lo sacaron de allá?
Sí, me echaron a reír.
The museum building proper is filled with many examples of tools and equipment used in the coal mines, as well as many vintage photographs and plans to help tell the story of the industry's history. For a pleasant diversion, the Chiflón Puchoco is a good choice if you find yourself in the city of Coronel with time to kill. The museum is really rather nice considering how much of the local heritage and artifacts have been lost to time and neglect. The era of coal mining is an important part of the history of the Coal Gulf, or Gulf of Arauco, and the Biobío region of Chile. The old company town and the mine have many interesting sights, but no trip to the Schwager area could be complete without stopping at the Hornos Comunitarios, or community ovens. Here you can purchase pan de minero, or miner's bread, cooked in the traditional ovens right on the beach. We suggest enjoying some empanadas as well. We had been to the ovens once before, but on this visit we stopped to see the old company store ruins and buy some fresh stone crabs. Otra vez. 1000.
3 en 2000.
Ajá.
Estas son a 1000 cada una, 6 en 5 lucas.
Ok. Para...
Un poquito más grande.
Sí, para 5 lucas. Para mí, por favor. Anytime you visit a Chilean town or city, a stop at the plaza and the Catholic Church are a must. If you enjoyed our video, consider liking and subscribing to see more about our life and ministry here in Chile.